Hey guys! The first official video done in the basement. Well, I guess technically yesterday's was the first video done in the basement. This is the first one where I've actually set it up. So I wanted to quickly take you through how I edit my videos. And I wanted to touch specifically on a couple of things that have made it really easy for me to actually stay on top of these dailies, even though I don't have much time. Like last night's vlog, I edited in I think about 30 minutes. So let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing is my file and directory structure. So I have a pretty crazy system here. So I have this folder called Current Projects, which you'll see here. That's where all of my projects that I'm currently actively needing to do something on live. And those live on my hard drive in my computer. So you'll see over here, I have it sorted by timeline. So there's a bunch of stuff that's like some of my long running projects. I have a couple of things, there's a bunch of photos that need edited. I'm really slow at getting to those. And then I also have this special one called _done. That is all the stuff that I need to move to my external hard drive. I moved a bunch of stuff today, so you won't see anything here. But whenever I'm done with this video, after I've edited it, uploaded it, and I'm all good with everything there, I'll move it in _done. Next time I plug in my external hard drive, I'll move it over into the footage folder there, and then everything's gone. I also back up this and my external hard drive to AWS S3. I'll go over that in another video because that's a whole other thing. So let's jump into creating a project. I already did this because I needed to clear my memory card so I could record this one here. So what I do is throw a name that might be the title of the video, it might not be, just something to remember it by. And then I jump in here and I create this footage folder. And then I create a folder for every camera that I filmed on. Most of my stuff is just filmed on the GH4, so I throw it on there. I throw a photo folder in here and a video folder in here. A lot of my stuff lately, no photos, all videos. Drop all that in there. Oh my god, there are some... Okay, watch this. There are some photos. I missed these. Alright, let's get these out of here. Drop that there on the photos, and now my photos are in there. Alright, cool. Now we're good to go. The other things I create a folder for Adobe Audition files. A lot of times, not when I've been doing these Rush daily vlogs, but most of my normal ones, I actually do all of the audio post-processing in Audition. I have a final folder, that's where all of my exports go. I have my photo edits folder, that's any exports of photos that I've edited, so whenever I dump from Lightroom, they all go there. And then my Premiere Pro folder, which is where my Premiere Pro project ends up. So we'll go ahead and create that. I just jump over here into Premiere Pro. And we wait. Okay, now that we have that open, we jump over here, we say New Project. We're gonna browse right over to Current Projects, Premiere Pro, say Choose. I normally name this the same as the directory, surprise, bada bing, bada boom, done. So first thing, if you're a Premiere Pro user, you'll notice at the top I have these special workspaces. These are just how I lay things out that I like. If anyone is watching this from Adobe, can you please explain to me why I've saved a layout like this and this guy ends up in the tab up here every time? It drives me crazy. Anyways, so if you're not familiar, what you'll see here is on the right hand side, I have my project. That's where I'm going to import all my media. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to go over here to footage and I drag it on by camera. Jump back over here. And it'll yell at the raw photos, but that's okay because I don't need those in here. Alright, I'm going to create two more bins. I'm going to create a sequences bin and a audio bin. Sequences is where all of my adjustment layers and Premiere Pro timeline sequences are going to go. Audio is where the audio stuff goes. Sometimes if I have any After Effects clips or any other assets like that, I'll create an assets folder and throw that stuff in there. Like if you look at any of my quick tips videos, I have the intro sequence. That always goes in assets. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and start grabbing the first pieces of video on here. So I'm going to throw my headphones on here. All right, and so I'll set in and out points on these periodically using the I and the O key, and then I will just go ahead and drag this guy right over here. That will create a new sequence, which I, again, rename Small Creators Prize, and then I'm going to not do that. Drag this guy right down here to sequences. Boom, move over here, and then I'm just going to jump through the rest of these clips and quickly drop these on here. Normally if I have a B-roll, I am going to classify that as a different color just so I can add these things through later. Also, B-roll I'm really classifying as the thing that's just kind of like transitionary. Like it may have audio, it may not have audio. It's not all just my slow motion, like cool little visual sequences. Also, I don't do all of my cuts through here. I just try and trim out the stuff that obviously I don't want, and I normally keep it a little bit long, and then I'll go through and cut through the sequence right after that. What I'm also going to do is all those B-roll segments that I labeled, I'm just going to leave a little space in the timeline so that I know where those go later on. Okay, so that's it. We have the initial flow through here, all on there. We're sitting large at around 5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes is pretty good, but we haven't done any passes through or anything. Like, I can feel like these are going to be a little bit long here. So we're going to have to go through and start cutting these down now and sort of filling in the B-roll section. So a lot of times right now what I would do, since I have a decent amount of B-roll, is I'm going to hop on Epidemic Sound. I don't have internet here, so we're going to pull some Epidemic Sound from some music that I already have. So, excuse me, I have this content folder. This is all in my Google Drive, so I have access to it everywhere. And I have this music section. All of my Epidemic Sound stuff that I've used on projects goes here, so I have access to it everywhere. So I'm just going to jump through here and find something that I like that I haven't used recently. Nope. Yeah, I dig that song. Alright, so we're going to drag this guy right over here onto... Drag this guy right over here onto audio. Boom. Awesome. Drag it right down here. Alright, and then my question is always, can I make this video as long as the song? The song's a little bit short. So we're going to go ahead and edit this in Adobe Audition. We're going to make it a little bit longer. I'm thinking like a 4-minute video. Maybe 4:30. Let's go 4:30 and see what happens. We can always shrink it back down. So we're going to go ahead and create a new multi-track session here. This is what this Audition folder is for right here. I normally just call these music. Drag that guy right on here. Properties, enable remix. This is like the coolest feature of Adobe Audition ever. You can just make a song as long or short as you want, and you just like tell it how long. So I'm just gonna be like, cool, put it at 4:32. I go through here. These are the little cuts that they made. So I listen to them to see if they actually sound decent. And I can almost never hear anything in them. I've had a little bit, but you won't notice it unless you're looking at this with these lines. All right, we're gonna save this, and then we can export to Premiere Pro. We drop this also in the Audition. All right. And then since we have the music already on audio track 2, I go ahead, go over here, say audio 2, drop it on there, and there. Now we have a nice long music clip that we can start editing to. And now comes the fun part of just chopping and going. Also, pro tip, lock the audio track so that you can do all your cuts and stuff without having to worry about cutting the audio. All right, and then we jump to the first B-roll section. I'm going to go ahead and fill that out here. And then we just do this over and over again until we have the whole thing in, and then we cut it down as close to the time as we possibly can. So bear with me. there we go. The hard part's done. We've cut through everything. It's all lined up. Mostly cut to music. Good to go there. I'm going to unmute this audio track. So the next two steps are color grading and audio. Okay, so I told you that a lot of times I do my audio in Audition. I'm gonna not do that this time because I want to show you what I've been using to speed up my editing process lately. Also, to be clear, that little remix section of the music, I have not been doing that lately. I've just been cutting directly to how long a song is, or I'll chop the song and fade it out. It's a lot faster than having to sort of guess how long your video is going to be. And my footage has been a lot simpler too, so that's made that a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the audio right here in Premiere. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and unlock this audio track. I'm going to jump over to the audio tab, select my music track, click music. That basically says this track is considered music. I'm going to highlight all of my video clips, say this is all dialogue. So now all of the audio with that is going to be considered dialogue, all of the audio with the music is going to be considered music, basically just categorizing it for this reason right here. So now I can click back on the music track, I can say ducking. I always tweak this to 8, -20, and 500, make the fades a little bit faster, make it a little more sensitive, and reduce it a little bit more. And then it's ducking against dialogue, so any clips that are flagged as dialogue, it's going to basically drop the volume next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and generate keyframes there. That's going to auto fade out my music in just the right times, and then we can go tweak it later. There we go, it's all done. So now I'm just going to quickly scroll through here. I normally make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. There you go, those are the keyframes. I'm going to just jump in here. Awesome, those look good. Alright, and then I'm going to highlight all of these, and then I have a saved preset, TR Voice. I copied a lot of these settings over from my Adobe Audition settings, so it gets pretty close to the quality of Audition, not quite. Basically, it's a de-esser, parametric equalizer, multiband compressor. Just really sort of brings out the voice a little bit more in the audio. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the audio track mixer. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to watch this master right here on the right. Make sure it doesn't peak too much. Also using my studio monitors to make sure I don't hear any of the peaking. And I want everything to sort of level out around 0. So I'm going to start tweaking the audio 1 and audio 2 levels so that they have a good mix. Normally that means I'm bringing the voice up by about 4. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to jump to this section where I think I'm talking a little bit quieter. And I am, so I'm going to highlight those. We're going to bring the levels up by about this. Alright, there we go. Audio's done. Now we're going to jump into color grading. So we're going to jump over here to color. So if you're not very familiar with color grading, a lot of this stuff's going to be crazy. Check out Matty Apoya's videos. He's got some great stuff on color grading. Alright, cool. And then I'm going to drag this adjustment layer right up here. So I'm going to use 2 layers for adjustment. I'm going to drag this all the way down to the end here. And I'm going to hold down Alt or Option or whatever it is on your keyboard. Drag that up. Makes a copy. Alright, cool. And then I'm going to jump over here to the Effects tab. Since I shoot everything on my GH4, I have a preset that basically neutralizes all of the colors to color correct for the most part. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking for proper exposure here on this meter, and I'm looking for close to sort of zeroed out on this meter. So I'm just going to jump through the different sections of my video basically. So looking at here, like this might be a hair overexposed. So this is basically like the colors throughout the frame. My face is in the middle of the frame, so I'm looking at this section here and it's a little overexposed. I like to sit around 60 or so. So I'm going to see if all of these look like that. Pretty good in terms of exposure. So we're going to go ahead and just chop this guy, and then we're going to go back to my face. We're going to drop the exposure here until we're sitting right there around the 60-70 mark. Cool, awesome. We're going to just keep going. Do this all the way through. Also, a lot of times I will pull up this little comparison view so I can see if my exposure is sort of matched across the two. There, that looks like pretty good. And then TR Hotness, that's my preset for my actual color grade. Boom. So now I'm going to go back through and tweak a little bit more. So this is a little blue here, so I'm going to warm it up a little bit. Mostly I'm looking at the skin tones, making sure the skin tones are matched across these clips. I like the exposure and the framing of this clip on the left, which is why I'm using it as sort of my reference clip. And then just jumping through here. Alright, so that's all the color grading and the audio. So now I'm just going to throw a couple titles here at the end because I want people to go check out nosmallconference.com. You should too, if you're still here. So now I'm going to jump over here to graphics. Boop, boop. Go. And that's it. We've edited the whole video. Now it's for exporting. So just throw a Command M there to drop into the media export thing. I have a custom preset for this also. So if you can't tell, custom presets for everything I do repetitive. Custom presets. You'll see I had 3 different versions of my LUT, 2 different versions of my color correction as that's like progressed over time. It's just the number one way to get this going quickly. So then I'll go ahead and hit Q, which basically throws that into Adobe Media Encoder, and I can encode it later because the next step is grabbing the thumbnail. Thumbnail, I'm looking for something like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab a screen grab out of that. Yeah, like that one could work. So I'm just going to throw these into the footage, GH4 photos section. So now we're going to go ahead and export this. I'm not going to take you guys through the YouTube upload process. You probably know this by now. If you guys are interested in going through that and seeing how I figure out tags and descriptions and all of those things, let me know. I'm happy to do a video on it. But until then, I hope you liked this video. It's definitely going to be a longer video than I normally do. It's very different from what I normally do. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Was this useful? Was this interesting? Hit me up in the comments, tweet me, Instagram, all Trobrock across the board. And I will see you guys next time. I'm not going to snap because I can't reach the camera, so I'm going to like